We're Robin and Steve. Recently, we sailed from Wallace to Fiji. Here's a dodgy map recap of where we've just been and where we're about to go. We checked in at Savusavu, then off to Namina, Makangai, and then to Koro Island, and back to Savusavu to see a doctor, then past Taveuni Island to Matangi Island, up to Rambi, around to Sao Bay, over to Taveuni, and slowly back towards Savusavu. But we'll pick up here at Rambi Island, which is now home to the Banaban people from the Gilbert Islands, whose home was destroyed due to phosphate mining after World War II. It's another grisly history of displaced peoples. So here's some visual distraction, and hopefully a happier time, since in 2005, residents of Rambi were given citizenship to Fiji. So hopefully now they can feel more at home in this, their beautiful home. On the other side of Rambi Island is this beautiful bay. The beaches were some of the prettiest we've seen. Under the water here wasn't so healthy, with a lot of coral bleaching and cyclone damage, at least where we were. As we were walking along the beach, a cat found us. A super friendly cat. We weren't expecting to meet a cat, so it didn't have any food.
I don't have anything.
Like mongooses, rats, cane toads, and dogs, cats do threaten the native wildlife here. That's all humans' fault, not the fault of this cat. Anyway, after this we met a man who knew this cat and who said that there's plenty of food on the island. On this beautiful day, we were the only boat here. We then moved on to explore some of the eastern side of Vanua Levu. Here's me furling the Genoa after the wind died. We found a nice bay with gorgeous snorkelling and a nudibranch, a mollusk that sheds its shell after the larval stage. I love a good reflection, especially when kayaking over beautiful coral. It was still too painful to wear 2 flippers. I'll give you the foot update later. For now, this coral was quite extraordinary. Reef after reef of healthy, beautiful, diverse coral. Our idea of heaven. We made a friend named Louis. Louis saw us kayaking and called us over. He was on a work break and offered to take us on a walk. to a place rich in lemons and beautiful views.
I better make a lemon cake.
It was a hot and sweaty climb for us, but well worth it. This was the most lemons I've seen in my life. Louis told us to just fill our bags. Sadly, the soursop weren't quite ripe yet. I made lemon cakes and a lot of lemon cordial. We rarely go out, but Louis talked us into visiting his office to try a cocktail. A couple of family members were having birthdays, so we toasted them. Here at Sau Bay Resort. Next stop, Taveuni. Here I must apologise. In the last video, I said Tavanui instead of Taveuni. Initially, I misread it and then got into a bad habit. So this is the beautiful Taveuni, not Tavanui. Taveuni, not Tavanui. Taveuni, not Tavanui. There was a restaurant with just one item on the menu, sheep neck curry, which we enjoyed as the lady across from us slept. After shopping, we found the yummiest sorbet ever. I had the soursop aloe balimbi, so yummy. And Steve's chocolate flavour was of chocolate grown here on Taveuni. Unforgettable. From our anchorage, we saw rugby training and whales, but I didn't film them. Here we're close to where east meets west, and at the 180-degree point, the GPS can't cope, which can lead to real navigational issues. Look out if you're around there. But luckily we did make it through this pass okay. Our friend Louis had convinced us that we just had to go and visit his village, and we're very glad he did. At least once we'd made it past these breakers without smashing into any reefs. It was a beautiful anchorage in a muddy harbour, fringed with mangroves and thick with bats, which seemed fitting on a full moon. Next morning we went to the village and presented our Savusavu to the chief. And yes, that rooster is on a string. And then we got shown around. We were shown the beautiful village, taken through gardens, and then taken into the forest to see the swimming holes. And then we were shown these extraordinary petroglyphs. Nobody knows who carved them, when they were carved, or what they mean. This is our excellent guide, Tony. Within some of these beautiful pools are freshwater shrimp. We were shown what some of the different plants are, and also were shown kava drying in the sun. And these gorgeous vesi planks that will be used to build a new hut. And then some kids joined us and showed us what they'd caught. Well, what their mum caught. We're often antisocial, so we were glad Louis convinced us to come here. It was definitely a highlight. We started to make our way back to Savusavu, back out through the pass to what would be an eventful sail. As if catching this fish wasn't eventful enough, a big pod of dolphins joined us for quite some time, which hadn't happened for ages. As if this wasn't exciting enough, in the distance Steve saw a whale, and as we sailed closer, we noticed it was behaving strangely. As we sailed on with dolphins all around, we noticed this whale was breathing quite heavily and hung still in the water. We didn't want to bother the whale, so we just continued to sail by. What happened next was quite curious. To see, but something big and dark came out of the whale, who then dove down. We think that maybe we saw a sperm whale giving birth. Our sails were set up to sail downwind, so we'll never know. And by the way, the dolphins were still there. And as if all that weren't eventful enough, then the weather turned nasty. Luckily, our wind vane was helping us to steer back to Savusavu, where we'd do some laundry, try delicious traditional Fijian cuisine, and go to the hospital. My foot had seemed to get better, but then got much worse. The doctor who'd said I had no splinters cut my foot open and found slivers of painted timber. No snorkelling for me for a while. And this isn't the end of the story. Poor Steve kicked his toe too, perhaps out of sympathy for my foot. Apart from my foot, the main reason we were back in Savusavu was to pick up some guests. And they made sure our snorkelling gear didn't lie idle. That's Steve's son Jack and Jack's girlfriend Alana, heading off with our snorkelling gear and our GoPro to swim in tropical seas for a change. Nicely filmed, people. After spending time with these cuties, we headed to the north side of Vanua Levu. But more of that next time.